Ladies and gentlemen, Hebrews and Shebrews, welcome to the Life Podcast, where we inspire you to thrive.
Hi, this is so embarrassing. Not for me, but probably for you. This isn't the Life Podcast. However, this is an interview with Luke Abafi, except he's not doing the interviewing. I am. So if you want to learn more about his streaming service, The Life Network, stay tuned. Anyway, enjoy the interview.
Most Christians complain about Hollywood. Few try to build something better than Hollywood. Today's guest is doing just that. He's just launched a streaming platform for followers of Jesus with a pro-nomian point of view, designed to challenge the cultural grip of the Netflixes, the Hulus, and the Paramounts. Today, we'll be talking with our guest about why he started a streaming service, what it's like building his own platform, and the future of this project and all the cool shows he has on it. With impactful faith-based projects like The Christmas Question, The Way documentary that have helped inform people's beliefs, and now a beautifully shot reality dating show to help those Christians meet. I'd love to introduce my new friend, the founder of the Life Network, Luke Abafi. There's lots of clapping. Everyone's clapping at home.
Ed, what is up?
Hey,
sir?
man. Thanks for joining the show. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for such a kind introduction.
Of course, man. Everyone loves you. I haven't talked to anyone who's been like, oh, that guy's a jerk. Everyone loves Luke Abafi. I should clarify. Abafi or Abafi?
Abafi is how I say it. My grandpa says Abafi.
Okay, I'm not going to do it like him because my voice doesn't get that low, but
It's Hungarian.
Abafi. One more time.
Abafi is fine.
What did you say? What did you say?
Naj Papa would say Abafi.
Okay.
It's just make all the A's make them long.
Okay. I might do that on accident now. Abafi. I like it. It's very Hebrew sounding. Abafi. All right, man. So I might cut all that out. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe we'll keep it. I want to get to know you because you do a lot of the interviewing, but I don't see you in a lot of interviews. So I want to ask you a very personal question. What are your favorite TV shows and movies?
Goodness, that's a good question. Oh my gosh. Okay, movies, definitely the Indiana Jones series, the original 3.
Incredible.
Not even Temple of Doom. I just thought it got too
Yeah.
gross. But I still love Short Round. I love the characters, but the first and third Indiana Jones,
Incredible.
definitely. A New Hope, Star Wars: A New Hope, not just because his name is Luke.
Okay.
All three of those prequels or whatever the heck you want to call them are the
You're
best.
Spielberg
And
Lucas
then-
guy.
Yes. And then Lord of the Rings by Peter Jackson.
All right.
All 3 of those. None of the Hobbits. Sorry.
No. Not as good.
So those are kind of, for movies, that's what I like. For TV shows, goodness, I'm probably not even allowed to recommend the ones that
I was gonna say, I'm like,
by.
how do you navigate that? Because some people are very selective about what they watch and not offending.
One I will still recommend is called Foyle's War. That is like a British mystery series set in World War II.
Okay.
And that one is very good and still, I think, okay for the family.
Okay. That's
so
what I'll check
Foyle's
out.
War, but there are other ones that impress me probably more. I can't either remember them or recommend them anymore.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to have to look into that one. How did you get your start into filmmaking? Like what movie? Because you just talked about your favorite movies. What movie made you really go like, oh, I want to do that?
Goodness, wait, another really good movie I think is that I just watched recently that gave me the same feeling that I've had that made me want to make media is, I think, 1917. I think that's what it's called. Have you seen that?
It's incredible. Beautiful.
Yeah, for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's a war movie, and it's made as if it's all one camera shot throughout the whole thing. And it's just riveting. It's riveting. Also, okay, here's one I probably shouldn't recommend, but Mad Max Fury Road also made me feel like, boom.
Oh. The emotions I got watching that, how incredibly beautiful it was. Jeez Louise.
But okay, to your question. Sorry, see, I'm nerding out already about these things.
I watched it with a bunch of church interns, and they all walked out like, I don't get it. I'm like, you don't need to get it. It was awesome.
It's definitely bizarre, but
Yeah.
it's edge of your seat bizarre.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess that maybe that's what I like. I like that. Okay, what made me want to, or
Yeah,
how
how'd
did
you
I
get your
start
start then?
things?
So you got some movies that you're like, these are incredible. I want to do that. How'd you just pick up a camera and start shooting short films, or what happened?
So I started going to my local school, my local community college when I was 17, right out of homeschool, and I studied audio visual communication. And the only reason I started out undeclared, but there was this really cool guy named Rick Barnes, and he has since sadly passed a year ago, but he did audio for Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and some other movies. And so then he moved to Chillicothe, Ohio, this tiny little town, and um he made out of nothing this audio video department. They weren't doing it before.
Okay.
And I went to his class as an undecided young guy writing fiction. I was always writing fiction at that time in my life. And he made me fall in love with just the tools,
Yeah.
cameras and mics. And I realized I grew up locksmithing. My dad's a locksmith, so I liked using my hands. I was mechanically inclined, and so when I realized that there were tools to storytelling beyond just writing, I kind of fell in love with that too. And Rick Barnes is the one that made me fall in love with that, and
That's
made me
cool.
think, oh, even someone that originated in a nowheresville town in Ohio might end up being able to work on something that millions of people have seen. And so, or that actually moved someone, because I didn't care about who had seen or how many people at that point. And so I ended up, after a couple of years, moving to California, and I met the guy's friends. This Rick Barnes guy had friends there who were working at a big grip studio in LA.
Yeah.
And so I just started being a grunt for them and working on little short films and stuff for a few years.
Okay. Well, that's really
So
cool.
that was the beginning.
Huh. So you got your start on short films.
Well, not even really.
No?
I start in the grip studio, just looking at all that old equipment, like the gels that they would use to change the color of lights, and organizing their stuff. And yeah, I worked for other people on their films and commercials as a production assistant, or this role or that role, all of them tiny. And I just kept writing at that point. And then I studied journalism. I mean, I just was like, this is great, but I want to tell real stories too.
Yeah.
Studied journalism, and then years later, after working at a magazine, I finally made my first documentary.
Wow. Okay. So the journalism meets the film love of filmmaking. That's where you get the documentaries.
I guess so. I didn't think I'd ever make one, but I just felt like there was a very important story to tell, and visual telling was the best way to do it.
1,000%. I think it's a great medium for our day and age. And so now you've gone from making documentaries to starting your own streaming service to kind of house these and other projects that you're working on. And it almost feels like a type of holiness, like you're being called out or separate as opposed to infiltrating other streaming services, the culture. Because you could have realistically, I mean, I've seen your shows, they're high quality. And so you could have taken these and pitched them to Angel or to PureFlix or whatnot and you decided to start something more localized to your denomination. So what made you decide to launch a streaming service instead of just doing Patreon or YouTube?
Well, one part of it was to keep everything in-house and on our own, basically to be in control of things. I think it's nice to not have to wonder if someone has the power to pull the plug.
Yeah.
Another aspect is that our audience is so niche or niche, and I still don't know how to pronounce this word.
So good.
Niche, maybe.
I think it's Nietzsche.
Niche. But they didn't have anything just for them.
It's true.
And so this is just for them. And it's also, I guess I wanted to have our own localized place where people can interact and they can also have something that's just for them. And so that's what it is. It's just for these people, these Torah observant people is what I would call them. But it's also for any believer. I mean, I do think that these shows can be entertaining to anyone, I hope.
Yeah. Well, especially like, so I've watched the dating show, the first episode, and you see like, because they're real people, so you when they're characters, you can kind of talk how you want about them, but like you can definitely see the quirks in this community that you're working with. And like, I've watched Love on the Spectrum. My wife and I watched that, and I'm not autistic, but I can really enjoy watching some autistic people date. And maybe that's good or bad. I don't know. That's maybe another separate conversation. Or you watch these shows and you're not one of these people, but you can still enjoy watching them do that. And so even though it might not be in your strict denomination, like these shows are still entertaining to watch.
Yeah, that show you're talking about, 2 by 2 we call it, is a quote unquote Torah observant matchmaking show.
Yeah.
And it's based on Jewish matchmaker, it's based on Indian matchmaker, Muslim matchmaker. They have all three of those different, totally different like religions and or just people types. And they're all interesting, whether you're Indian or Jewish or Muslim. And this, I think, will be interesting whether you're Torah observant or not.
That's cool. I like that. So because you mentioned a few shows, what shows did you use as inspiration for these shows? Because I saw like elements of like Love at First Sight. I think that's what it is, with your wife being the matchmaker. I'm like, I'm interested. So what were you guys watching to get inspiration for this?
Well, those 3 matchmaking shows are the main ones, but there's a different twist that we put on it that they don't. For those shows, it's the matchmaker, you meet the matchmaker, and then you move forward following these people on their dates. So we meet the matchmaker, but she's a new matchmaker. So part of the storyline is following her, figuring out how to make a matchmaking show.
Okay.
This is my wife, Katie. And then that's one kind of storyline. And the other one is just similar to what they're doing, where you're following these people on dates. And the question in everyone's minds, hopefully, is, will these people get together?
Yeah.
Will they get married? And
will any of them even meet?
Will they meet? So the other twist that we're doing is that when they meet, it's not just a date over coffee. And this hasn't aired yet, but the next episode will show this.
Hi, it's me again. So I recorded this interview about a month ago. So some of these things that I was excited about that were pretty exclusive, like no one knew about this stuff yet, you guys probably all know. The past month I started working crazy hours temporarily, and then my freaking basement flooded. Look at that. DM me on Instagram if you know how to fix this. So anyway, just some context. This was filmed about a month ago at the end of February, right when the service dropped. I just couldn't get around to editing until now, but I hope you still enjoy it. But there's still a lot of behind the scenes stuff, so please stay tuned.
They are going to meet up and they go on this walk through the woods, and they have all these questions they have to answer and get to know each other. And at the end of the trail, they have to decide whether they're going to continue to date or part ways. And so it's all decided in that one day, in the first few hours of meeting.
Wow.
And that was created for multiple reasons, but yeah, that also is slightly different than the matchmaking shows.
Okay. So if the guy or the girl don't like each other, they start walking a little faster if they don't like an answer.
Who knows? You'll have to find out.
Like, hold on, stop. I can't keep up.
Yeah, actually filming that is hard because we were running through the woods, like Dawson and I.
Yeah, you can't have a track. Yeah.
That was hard.
Oh man. I like that. I like that concept. I'm really excited. How many episodes do you got planned of each of these? Because you also have the homesteading show, which the name escapes me right now. Tell me the name of it. Groundwork. I like
calling it Groundwork.
So you got these 2 shows running concurrently. Are you? Do you have them all filmed? Like, how many episodes do you think you're planning on having?
We hope to have one a month of the groundwork, and we'll probably have at least, I hope, 8 of the matchmaking show this year.
Okay.
We might have more. I don't know. We're filming. This is important for people to hear. We're actively filming this show.
Okay.
So anyone who wants to apply and try to find their love, they should go and do so.
Okay, so you're still taking like applications.
Yeah, Katie has like a database of people that she's actively matching up. So she's really doing this in real life and in real time because this is an ongoing process.
Okay, so this is a really interesting concept to me. You actually just blew my mind here. So is that you don't have it all filmed yet? Like you're not doing season 1, season 2. You're doing. Come on in. This is a running show. Is that?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
However, we have it planned to a certain extent.
Yeah.
We have filmed several dates and meetings and interviews, so we've done a lot of the work already for the first season. However, we still are going to have a couple more couples that aren't even been on camera yet in the first season.
Okay. That's cool.
And your audience could be some of those couples.
Hear me? You can apply. Just go to this email down below at 885-75309. Call that number.
If anyone's interested, I can give Ed a link to where people can.
I'll put it in the description, man. I love it. We're going to do that. All right. Someone asked me, and I wasn't going to ask this question because it felt a little mean-spirited, but someone asked me your thoughts on polygamy because we got weird polygamists that come out of the woodworks nowadays. Are they invited to your show?
Is that the question? Are polygamists invited to apply?
Yeah.
I think that this show is for people who have not been married mostly.
Hey, thanks, man. I'm glad about that because that would have added a bad layer.
I say mostly because if their husband or wife has died, then we're also trying to match them. Or if it's divorced, for biblical reasons, also
1,000%.
Yeah, all ages can apply too. So
okay, I love that. Sorry, I know I just took you for a left turn there. I just thought that was an interesting element.
It could be. Goodness gracious!
Oh my gosh, it'll just turn into Mormon Housewives in a few seasons if you start doing that.
Yes, that's not our bag.
Yeah, good call. I think that's a wise move. All right, so setting up your own streaming service, man. We'll get back to the main thing. You were supposed to launch in January. Obviously, you guys had some something happen. Was it a hard process, like setting up your own service, your own network?
I originally thought we would use an off-the-shelf thing, like Movie, MUVI. There's several off-the-shelf applications you can use to have your own streaming service. And so I thought, oh, this is going to be a piece of cake. We will use one of those and plug it and play. And Katie, we designed the site on multiple of these streaming platforms. First one, and the theme that she chose, because you can design it on a theme, totally crashed and wouldn't allow her to make any changes. Didn't remember anything she'd done. She talked to their tech people forever. It wouldn't work. So we were like, all right, move on to the next one.
Come on. Yeah.
And the next one, she couldn't, like Vimeo has it, Vimeo OTT, they call it. They do a version of this. All their themes, she vetoes because they were not attractive.
Yeah.
She didn't like how they looked, like the browser-based version. And so this kind of happened on all those. And none of them were pretty, man. And so we built our own, actually. We didn't think we would do it, but we finally decided a few months ago, okay, we're just going to do it. And so we built our own, which was a crazy process. This wonderful tech girl named Brittany has made things actually happen. We never could have done it ourselves. And so that's largely why we're a little late, that we built it all.
Okay. Well, that's really cool that you had, you guys built it from the ground up because you realized none of these things are working for us.
Yeah. They just weren't pretty, or they actually broke.
Yeah. Ugh. That's just great. Sorry, I'm just thinking about building from the ground up and how much work that must have been for all of that.
Luckily, it wasn't for me. It was just for Brittany and Katie.
Hey, that's good. That's good. Delegate.
And Kirsten.
Yeah.
So see, here's another wild thing, Ed. We went from a team of just Katie and I to now like a bunch of people.
Yeah. How big's your team?
Well, Katie and I, Dawson, the videographer, you could call him director of photography, And then Noah Cook is a brilliant editor who edited 2x2. And then Vince Fraterola, he's another great editor that edited Groundwork. And then Brittany and Kirsten. So I guess 7. I think that's mostly it. My sister Rebecca has always been our story editor. So Rebecca's the secret sauce of everything.
Yeah.
Because the 2 documentaries I made, they probably wouldn't have even been coherent if she wasn't there. She was a playwright. She did master's playwright grad. She's written multiple plays, and she knows how story works. And so, to any aspiring filmmaker out there, the only thing that matters is story.
Yes.
Especially now with AI being involved in everything. Story is the only thing that matters. And for some silly reason, no one understands how to tell a story. Still, people have been doing this for years.
Yeah.
Everyone's been spending, so much ink mapping out exactly what makes a compelling story, but still everyone ignores it, including Hollywood, including even sometimes Pixar. I mean, people still ignore a story, so you get crap movies, you get crap stories, and Rebecca has prevented that. If we've ever made anything that's okay, it's because of her forcing us to.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's cool. So you got a lot of people working behind the scenes. It's not just Luke in every aspect.
Was, but no more. Yeah, it was, but no more. Now it's 8, and oh my gosh. I know you have other questions, but I'm just rolling here.
Yeah, please talk about it. Yeah.
The cool thing about this Life Network is, I didn't mention this earlier, but like we're going to pull in other creators who are making cool things. So there's this young guy, I can't tell you his name yet.
That's fine.
Who is going to like join in April and be making content for young people and kids.
Wow.
And someone else soon will be doing some of the groundwork hosting as well, who's a very popular homesteader. And so we're trying to bring in more people, so it's not me. So then I can just do nothing. No,
that's great though.
No, I just want to make more stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the bottleneck. This has been hard.
Yeah, if you're forced to be the host of, if you got 10 shows on here, I mean, it's just not reasonable that you're on every one of them. And like, what happens? You're on a homestead and you twist your ankle. Well, then no more shows for a month, or 2 months. You can't film.
Yes, you're right, man. You're right. So I'm doing everything I can to quit DIYing everything and to quit being the bottleneck.
And building out. I like that. That's really wise, dude.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm just forced into it.
Oh, it's good. It's good. It's good to be forced into doing things like that, because then it not only works out better for your own sanity, but it works out better for the people who want to see this succeed. And like I'm a subscriber, so I'm like, it's cool having 2 shows, four shows coming out a month, but I think it'd be nice if it's like, oh, we got like 10 episodes and we got stuff for the kids and stuff for that, like, and it's not all bottlenecked at you. That's good. That's good thinking.
We're working on it. We're trying to, well, I mean, people have done this. The like you mentioned, Angel Studios did it.
Yeah.
Daily Wire is doing it. So we've seen good examples of it being done, and we're just trying to do it for our niche.
I think it's niche.
Our niche.
I think so, but I'm going to pronounce it niche.
It's got to be niche.
So you told me, so you answered Christina Cook on Facebook. She asked this question: are there any plans for children's shows? So you got something in the works.
Yes. Yes. This is a funny kid show that adults will also like because it's so humorous.
All right. Well, that brings me to another question I had, because this is kind of what I was wondering. I'm like, you guys got 2 shows, a podcast, and then a talk show, right? On there currently, and then your documentaries.
Yeah.
So you guys are working actively right now to make more shows, but also to acquire other people's projects, right? Or to have other people making shows for you.
Yes, if we have the same goal and I like what they're making, yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So how many do you think you got in there right now? Like, how many are you currently?
How many what?
How many like different projects or creators are you currently talking to?
We're talking for one for the kids, one to help take over groundwork, and then we're trying to just make what we have so far. And then we start pitching ideas to people like you, everyone that is a subscriber, and see via polls what they want to see. Like, I have some things I want to make, but we have to. I want to get the approval of the subscribers, and that was another reason to do this behind like our own platform.
Yeah.
Is that I want to just go to those people. Those are our audience. I want to focus on them 100% of the time, and I want to find out exactly what they want and what would benefit them the most.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. I like that. So what kind of shows are you thinking about working on? Like what's next for you?
So we raised money for this on a Kickstarter, and on the Kickstarter we had multiple shows that we pitched, and the two that I'm most excited about would be, I wonder which one to start with. One of them is called Exodus. This one's crazy.
Okay.
Katie's most excited about this. This is like a family bug out bag game show
Okay.
where a family can put whatever they want in their bug out bags. If you're familiar with this word, it's like if you have to leave your house at a moment's notice and you can only bring one backpack with you, what are you going to put in that backpack?
That's
and you have to
hysterical.
survive for however how long, a week, let's say. So we test the bag in the show. The people go out in the middle of nowhere with their family and they have to survive for maybe 3 days. That's probably what we'll do. And we're
Okay.
filming them the whole time. And the concept is being worked on, but there will be challenges that they have to overcome and test out all the contents of this thing.
Okay.
They have to maybe they'll have to rendezvous at one location without phones, or whatever the test is. They have to start a fire with whatever they have in, etc. And the basic idea there is to help people really improve the contents of their bag. I mean, there's real world application here.
Yeah.
That's one of the shows, one of the series.
I like that idea a lot. That'd be a fun one.
Sir. And then, all right, so then we have a fiction one and a documentary. So the fiction one is called Hillbilly Genius, and it is Sherlock Holmes in West Virginia, let's just say.
I feel like I saw you. I feel like I remember seeing the description of that.
Yeah, I just love Sherlock Holmes. I love mysteries, and the other driving force behind this whole thing is to make content that is appropriate for the whole family.
Yeah.
And is also entertaining. And so we would want this fictional Sherlock Holmes thing to be appropriate and a lot of fun.
That's fun.
So that's that one.
I like that a lot. So you're branching out into a lot of different directions. You got kids, reality, fiction, and it's crazy because entertainment in this way, it didn't exist 150 years ago. It barely existed 50 years ago in the way it does now. How are you thinking that Torah observant believers should think about entertainment? Because it's almost new in the way that we have it now. Like how do you think that Christians or Torah observant Christians should interact with this media and mainstream media, even if you want to throw that in there?
With entertainment in general?
Yeah. I'm interested.
Carefully. I think a lot of bad has been done.
Yeah.
I think another reason why we're trying to do this is that you can map, I would guess, I would call, I guess, Satan's plan for humanity in the entertainment that's been produced in Hollywood since the invention of the moving picture to today. And you can see the downward spiral into hell that media has taken, and how at first, I Love Lucy and Ricky could not even be in the same bed. And now decades later, there's all sorts of insane, basically, I don't even want to say the word, but total nudity in films and movies that people are watching oftentimes with their children. So it's entertainment is the measure of this frog in the boiling water that the culture has done, where it's turning up the depravity more and more and more and more and more, so that we're more and more used to this horrible stuff. So I would say be very careful with entertainment. Don't consume it as much as you possibly can. Do things in real life with your family and friends. But there's a problem. The problem is this. Why are we so connected to entertainment? Why do we care? Why is it something we want to talk about?
Yeah.
It's because it's telling the story. It's telling anything that works is telling the ultimate story. And what's the ultimate story? The ultimate story is the story of Yeshua, Jesus. It's the story of this God man that is challenged and follows the hero journey and literally is crucified and has the death, burial, and resurrection and comes back with this boon for mankind, which is salvation, and will eventually have ultimate victory over evil. And so that story of Jesus, of Yeshua, is the story that resonates in our heart. And that story, as we watch it unfold in an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, makes us stand up and cheer because he created us to want to cheer for his victory. He wants to create humans, little humans that are weaker than Satan because we're a little lower than the angels, that can do something, that can overcome and do something better than Satan did. Choose right. He chose wrong. He chose pride. But we, as this broken, this lower order, can overcome in a way that he couldn't. And he chose to come as one of us to do that. And that is beautiful. And you can see it in, it's the reason we like rooting for the underdog. We like the Cinderella story. We like to watch the Olympics still, even though it's full of bizarreness. We still like the Olympics because we like to watch like this person overcome these great odds. And so we must have entertainment. So I say we have to just make it godly entertainment.
Yeah. I really like that. Because it's not like we didn't have entertainment entirely. I mean, we used to tell stories around campfires. We've just kind of cut out the campfire and put it, and it's blue on our wall now. But I really appreciate the way that you thought about that. Because, stories, in 100 years, TVs might not exist, but we're still going to be telling stories. It might just look different. And those stories all hopefully root back to the gospel, or some perversion of it, in some cases, unfortunately. So that's a really good way of looking at it. We all want to cheer for the gospel.
Yeah, he's the ultimate hero. He is the hero's journey. It's all based on his story.
I think the cool thing about this Christian networks is that it helps parents fulfill the Shema, where you shall teach the commands diligently to your children, talk of them when you're sitting in your house, walk by the way, lie down and rise up. Well, I can't always talk, but like we got a TV in our house. My kids love the TV. And so if there's good Christian stuff on there, like we're shemaing right there, right? We're fulfilling the command to teach our kids, just, loaning it out a little bit at times, in healthy moderation.
That's cool. Yeah. I hope that we can help do that in some way.
Yeah, I think that's a cool thing. So how has reception been since the service has been out for a week, a little over a week now as we're recording this? How have people been reacting to the shows that you made?
I've only seen good things. I mean, I need to really dig in there and find the critique. But I think people enjoy the shows. I think some of the things they've mentioned about seeing Katie's journey on the matchmaking show being told while we see the people get together or not. I think they like that. All the things that people are liking are largely due to Rebecca's insight into story. So I have to tip my hat to her again.
That's awesome. Well, she's doing a great job. I probably should ask this earlier, but I'm thinking about it, because you had a lot of cool ideas for television shows that I think are going to resonate with a lot of people, especially families. What made you decide to do the 2 shows that you launched with first?
Katie was so passionate about matchmaking in this movement because it's like a very small, disparate group of people.
Yeah.
And it's a need. So I guess that's another motivating factor, is that we'd like the shows not to just entertain people, but to fulfill a need. And so the matchmaking show fulfills the need of people need to find their husbands and wives. And the Homestead Tour show fulfills the need of people are interested in learning how to actually have a homestead.
Yeah.
And so the driving force behind the tour is to find an expert in a certain aspect of homesteading and then just plumb the depths of their knowledge completely as much as we possibly can and put that all on the screen.
Cool. Well, those are good because those are 2 things that definitely, I think, like the online, Christian Torah community, they really enjoy homesteading. I feel like it's a requirement once a family becomes Torah observant, the women automatically go, let's get chickens. But then also it meets like a loneliness, because like, I don't know about you, but at our church, we had someone drive 3 hours to get to our church because there's nothing around them that believe the same way. And I can only imagine like how tough it is to find a match, find someone to build a life with when there's no one around that believes similarly to you. So those were strong starting points.
Well, thanks. That's why we went with those first.
I'm talking again about content that you're making in the future. There is so many TV shows right now, like never before, of good shows that are telling the Bible, that are showing the Bible on screen. We have The Chosen's one of them. You can debate if you like that or not. Let's cut the one about Jesus out of there. They're making one about Joseph, and there's a movie about Daniel. There's the Moses comedy show that I love that's out right now. Are you guys planning on doing any like retelling of any Bible stories at any point?
If we do, it'll likely be with Legos.
Okay.
And if we
that's a good honestly, that's the answer for everything from now on.
Yeah. If we do, it's gonna
be with Legos. That's the blanket answer.
There's one other possible thing I might do. It would be maybe just a two-year series, and that would be there's some really good history, like war history YouTube shows.
Okay.
And one of them is called History March or History Marsh. That's how he spells it.
Okay.
And it tells war history with these little squares on maps.
Okay.
And it tells all these famous battles like Waterloo and so on. And the little squares like meet up, and he tells what's happening, and they fight each other. And my son Max loves these battles, and he's learning history at the same time.
Okay.
So if we did another one, I think this is what we'll pitch to all the people, is it would be like that History March, only for all the Bible wars. And so I'd like to show those and show the tactics behind them and how everything happened.
That's cool. Some more top-down documentary than like artistic retellings.
Yeah, it's more just map based. It's you on the map. You who started the thing? Why is this happening? You get into the story of the battle, and then they have the battle, and you tell everything you can find through historical sources of how the battle progressed, and then you get to the end of it, and that's it.
Wow. Okay. I like that idea. That's definitely. I'm gonna History March. Is that what that's called?
Yeah. History, Marche. It's very good. And there's a bunch of other ones. There's like Kings and Generals, I think, is one, but I think History March is the best one.
Okay. Awesome. I'm going to look that up because I like that. And it's also smart of you guys. I'm going to keep complimenting you guys because I think it's smart. There's people already doing the narrative stuff, like, and they're probably going to do it because you guys are starting off. They're going to do it really well. And it's going to take a while to catch up to like building sets. Like you guys right now, you don't have to do that, which is a huge cost from what I hear. When you're filming just where people are in their homes and their homesteads. So that's really a wise move, but also thinking innovatively and things that you like, you can translate to things that your community is going to like.
Hopefully. And we'll pitch these things to the community. If they want them, then we'll make them if we can.
Yeah.
If we have the time and budget. So
awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. So what are the biggest hurdles right now? Because we're gonna kind of transition into like the future of this project because we've talked a lot about the shows. But what are the biggest hurdles that you're going through right now with the service?
Biggest hurdles are probably just making enough money to be able to pay for everything.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest hurdle.
That's tough. Yeah.
So having this. The onboarding matching what we want to produce. So we have to our the number of shows we can produce is directly limited by how many people we get into this service. So we'll see. We can grow as fast as that grows.
Yeah. How's that doing right
and
now? If you're comfortable answering that.
It's going well. It's going well. It continues to build. And we started off with a group of people already behind the project because of Kickstarter. Kickstarter is a great way to vet projects to see if there's interest.
Yeah.
And there was enough interest to start it on there. And so if we want to grow, this is the test.
Yeah.
And this is what happens over the next 6 months. We see how the thing rolls and what we can make.
That's cool. All right. Well, we'll be sending this out in all the groups to promote it for sure. What does success for you look like in 5 years on this platform?
Success is that I'm completely not the bottleneck anymore, and that we have a bunch of really great creators who are making very entertaining content that's also edifying for our audience. And so the success would be leveraging as many talented people as we possibly can. It's weird because my role shifts to just being able to manage these people and manage the content. And I would also, I guess, include that I'd like to be able to keep making something myself, like maybe documentaries or whatever it is. But if I can have time to balance all that, I have no idea how that could be possible, but I think that would be success.
I like that. So you're able to not be the bottleneck. You can have creative control to jump project to project that you're passionate about. And you're getting more shows on there, right? That's success for you guys in a few years.
Being able to leverage a lot more people,
I think that's
that they
good.
can be also creating on there as well. That would be ideal.
That's awesome. That's a good way to look at it. What would you say to believers? Because you're doing something pretty bold here. I mean, you put a lot of money on the line and a lot of time on the line building out shows, and you filmed eight-ish episodes, you said already, worth of television. So you've built something. What would you say to believers who feel called to build something but are afraid?
I would say listen to the Founders podcast about great company startup founders.
Yeah.
And I would say read biographies. And I would say don't be fearful. Have chutzpah, baby.
Chutzpah.
You got to have chutzpah. You got to be the kind of person that will go out and make the way. Of course, with prayer, of course, with supplication first. But then when you're given the green light, you have to be willing to put everything on the line at all times. You have to not be scared. You have to not want comfort. You have to go, go, go. You have to have extremely high standards. You have to force those high standards on everyone that you work with. So that's what I would say. I would say, go watch how Elon Musk did this. Go watch how Henry Ford did it. Go hear how and read about how these guys already did all this stuff. God is willing and wants to bless all of his people. He says even that he'll bless everything we put our hand to do. So follow him with all your heart, soul, and might. Keep his commandments, because that's one of the prerequisites to blessing everything we put our hand to do.
Yeah.
And then go, baby, go. That's what I say. I say, don't just hold things back. Don't work for someone else. Just get out there, put your house on the line, and go.
I like it. Follow that call, baby. Run towards it like a wild dog. After you've prayed about it.
Yes, because he may say no. Now's not the time. You have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
You still aren't good. That's likely the answer for a lot of very young people.
Yes.
And for that, it would be practice, and find a way for people to pay you to practice. I mean, I was paid to practice writing and video for years and years and years. And then I was like, I'm just going to make something. And so I would say practice, and then just make things.
Yeah.
And make them for free, and make them with anyone that you can that might, want to work with you. And yeah.
Awesome. I love that. How can you're in week 1, We've got a 5-year plan. We've already talked about what success looks like in 5 years. So we got a 5-year plan already. How can we support this project? People who want to see this succeed. How do we support you?
Go to watchthelife.com, sign up for one of those plans and watch what we're doing. And then tell me what you want. I'm going to figure out how. I have to talk to Brittany and Katie about this, but how do we put a poll on there to see what people want next? So, because I want to be able to start the ball rolling on the other projects. Thank goodness we're hopefully bringing in more people who already are making their own stuff, but we'd like to get our vision focused on the next one, even as we continue to produce these shows.
Awesome. Wow, we're getting towards the end. I guess one question I like to ask anyone I interview is, what questions do you wish I asked you? Is there anything you would have been like, oh, I'd like to hit on that? And if there's none, you can just clap and say you did a great job, Ed. But I am interested. What questions do you wish were asked?
No, you did do a great job.
Oh, thanks,
man.
You
did do a great job. Maybe I'm just thinking now that you asked that last question before this of young creative people who may be watching it.
Yeah.
And I guess I gave some advice for them already. Just work, practice. But find. I definitely read biographies, listen to the Founders Podcast, but find someone who is doing what you want to be doing, and see if you can get them to talk to you.
Yeah,
I would say get their wisdom, and if you can't talk to them personally, then find podcasts that are talking to them, because you usually can. Tim Ferriss or whoever is interviewing all sorts of very successful people. So, yeah. Do that. Find out and then work hard.
That's good advice. You always find people. I didn't learn to play guitar by going to school, and I'm not a great guitar player, by the way. But I didn't learn it by classes, but I learned it by hanging out with people who were better than me at it and just picking up what I could. And that's the same thing for basically everything I've realized. Hang out with people that are better than you at what you want to do, and you're going to get better. So that's good advice. That's good advice. All right, man. Oh, this one popped up. I got one last question for you. And maybe this, we've already talked about this entirely. I don't know. Do you think there's any shows that the first century Christians would be like, wow, that's a really good show?
Any shows in general?
Just any shows in general, man. I'm interested.
All right, one more friendly reminder. If you love movies and TV shows, especially about the Bible, I review Bible TV shows on the channel. They're really just an excuse for me to deep dive into the Bible and teach others about it while watching TV. So if that interests you, you should subscribe.
I mean, maybe The Chosen would, but maybe not. Maybe they'd be like, that's so off.
Jesus wore a yarmulke in an episode of that, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, maybe not that. I don't know. It depends on how accurate they really were, and only the first century guys would know that.
Yeah.
I like to hope the first century guys would want this next documentary I want to do.
All right. Well, I'm excited about that. Are you allowed to tell me what that is, or no, not yet?
I mean, and this has to be approved of from you and others that are already part of the Life Network. But documentary just would follow from the first century to today, Christianity, and the doctrines that have been added and subtracted through time.
Ooh.
You know, because we know things were subtracted and added until the Reformation, where they tried to reform and cut out a lot of that garbage that was glommed on. So it would be following the movement of these people, these believers in Yeshua, the Savior.
Yeah.
And it would pin the additions and the cutting aways of all of those things to the people that did them over time, and show how they were added and then subtracted, and then where we are today. And so I'd like to tell that in depth.
I love that idea. And like, I just think, because I listen to like history of the Catholic Church and stuff like that, there's so many interesting tangents and roads that you can go down. I remember there was a pope that dug up another dead pope and interviewed him. We need more things about this, because it's so fascinating.
The Cult of Saints is a huge fodder for making content. The Cult of Saints is insane.
Yeah. Oh, there's so much in Christian history or Christian adjacent history, I guess, sometimes that would just be a trove. You could that's a 100-episode series right there.
It would be nice. I just want to show the kernel of this beautiful thing that was the, I guess, Christian doctrine in the first century, since you mentioned it, and then see how that broke apart and was added to and taken from, and then how I think it's come back together again.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'd like to show.
I'm excited to see that, man. Well, that'll have my vote when it comes up.
Okay.
All right, man. Well, Luke, I really appreciate you joining us today. I think we had a lot of fun, and I think you answered a lot of questions that fans or maybe potential subscribers are going to get them off the fence and go, oh man, I really want to check out what this guy's doing.
Well, Ed, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Go check out the Life Network. It's going to be linked in the description. Support Luke in any way you can. He has a podcast called the Life Podcast. It's incredible. I know a lot of people have been on it, and just great interviews, great topics that can really help enrich your faith. With all that said, to God all praise and glory. Thanks for watching.